face masks has become a part of our everyday life. And as most of us understand, after lockdown has been lifted, the coronavirus is not just going to disappear. So I decided to do some research into the various trends of face masks at the moment. So one of the very popular ones that I came up with is your classic shoe face mask. Not particularly a favorite. Another very popular trend at the moment is the classic toilet paper face mask. Not very effective, and if it's up to the Australians, we won't have any supply left in a couple of months. So luckily, my mom's a fashion designer, and I asked her to do some research, and she actually came up with something that's very easy to make, very effective, and it actually looks good when you're wearing it. So have a look at what she came up with.
So after a few trials with different colors and so forth, I eventually came up with this mask. And I will explain to you now step by step how to create a mask like this. I came up with a very easy, workable but effective pattern. How to draw this pattern. It's a simple, easy pattern to draw, and you are going to need a ruler, a pen or a pencil, a pair of paper scissors, a saucepan of about 14 centimeters in diameter, and you can either use a page from an old magazine, or in my case I'm going to use a piece of recycled A4 paper. Just fold it in half. And start by drawing a line from your folded line outwards. So this is where you fold it and draw a line across. Now mark 4 centimeters, 8 centimeters and 11 centimeters. That is 4 centimeters, 8 centimeters and 11 centimeters. At 11, bring your line down. Right? 11, bring your line down. And on this line, mark 6 centimeters and 7 centimeters and 13. So it's 6, 7 and 13. Just make a little dot in the middle of 6 and 7. Draw inward 3 centimeters, 3 centimeters inward, and connect those two lines, those two marks, and 7. Right. Move over to the folded line, and on the folded line you are going to mark 6 centimeters and 14 centimeters. Just draw a little bit inward. You're going to go back up to your first line that you drew, mark 2 centimeters down, just like make a clear dot. Now connect 8 with your dot and connect your dot with your 6 centimeters mark there. We're now going to use the saucepan. Put your saucepan on your 8 centimeter mark and make sure it touches your 6 centimeter mark, and draw a curve. Now bring it down to your 14 centimeter mark and let it touch your mark at 7, and then line it up so that it touches the line that you drew in from 14 and draw in a curve. Right, we're nearly finished. The last mark is just find the mark moving in from 13 on your curved line. Make a clear mark there. Good. And now we are going to cut the pattern out. With your paper scissor, around the curve, cut that out, cut your dot out, around the curve, down to your 2 centimeter mark and out to 6. And there you have it. Okay, so we are now going to cut the interfacing. We just simply put our pattern on our violin, and you do not have to open your pattern like that if you're going to cut a single layer. If it's a single layer, you can simply keep it closed and cut your pattern out. We only made it double layer so that when you are going to cut more than one layer of fabric, you are then can open it up. Good, you can make the mark and just clip it there. Before you move it, you should also cut out your dot. Like that. Good. You're also going to need 5 centimeter strips, 2 centimeters wide, to seal your seams. I'll explain everything later, but you can just cut 2 strips, more or less 2 centimeters wide, more or less 5 centimeters long, and we'll use that later. To recap, we said that our material or our mask should have certain requirements. The first thing is that it must be tight fitting around the nose, around the side of the face, and the pattern will take care of that. Okay. The next thing was that it should be impenetrable for the virus, and the violin will take care of that, as it's non-woven and it will not be able to penetrate. Now the next thing is that it needs to be comfortable. You must be able to speak and breathe through it, and not get too hot under it, and be washable. Now that's where the choice of your material is very important. So always, as far as possible, make use of a natural fabric. Now this is cotton, and we're going to make use of this beautiful swishy material, which is a typical African material with an African design on it. Now to decide or to make sure that your material is actually cotton, you can just simply burn it. Just take a little piece, burn it. It will burn easily, and as you can see, it will make a white smoke, and the edge, it will smell actually like burning paper, and the edge will be soft, like it was a piece of paper that you've burned. On the other side, if you are want to test for material that is a synthetic material, you will see that it will, when you burn it, create a hard, a very firm and hard edge on the outside. It will not take flame as easy as the cotton, and once it burns, it will actually create a hard surface. A hard surface, and don't touch it because it's very hot. It's like a plastic that's burned. If you touch it, it will burn into your skin. So it will also have a distinct smell, but it will have a different, funny, not so pleasant smell. Okay, and that is hard. It's very hard, and that will indicate that this is not cotton. Good. So we're now going to lay down our pattern onto our fabric and start to cut that. Just want to move it into place so that you can see. I've decided to use the design across like that. your pattern with that side to the fold. And just simply cut it out. And I'm going to start at the bottom, and just to make sure that you cut out your little clip there, because that's going to be important later on. Cut your dot. And make sure you clip it. Okay, we're now going to start to sew it. We're now going to sew in the 4 little dots. Just fold them together. And if you use your pin across like that, you don't have to remove it when you stitch over it. Use your pressure foot as your guidance for the width of the seam. Just keep a straight line, reinforcing the end, and do the same here. Okay. Do dots on your outer material, and you've done the same to your lining. Now you can just thumb press them open it up like that, and use your thumb just to force the seam open. We're now going to add in our elastic. That goes in first. So for a medium mask, you need about a 21 centimeter elastic for each side. Just find 21 centimeters and cut 2. Now remember, you made a clip here and there, just to make sure that it's visible on that side. Just transfer it over. Okay, so now our elastic is going to go exactly there, and you can just pin it in place. Make sure your elastic doesn't curl, and put it right on your dot. Do the same to the other side. Make sure it doesn't curl. And put it in place. We're now going to sew around that outer edge. This is the top of your mask. That's where your nose bridge is going to be. Make sure your dots are nicely on top of each other. Sew the 2 together. Just remove the pins. Again, just thumb press your seam open. Open it up. Thumb press it like that. Go right around. Flat. make sure that your lining falls and pulls to the inside and doesn't come out. Okay, we're now going to sew a little pocket for our nose bridge paper clip that we're going to use for the nose bridge to put that in. So we're going to sew a little pocket for that. How to prepare your paper clip. Just open it up like that. Both sides. And then use your pliers just to make them equal in length. And then use any pliers, I've got the small little one, to bend the edges back. I'm going to measure the length of your pocket. Just make 2 little marks on the side. And you're now going to just stitch down there, right across, and you're going to leave the one side open so that we can actually slip the paper clip in. Because it's a very tiny little paper clip, you don't need a very big pocket. But if you are going to use one of these as your nose bridge, obviously you'll have to have a much larger piece for it to fit in. You can now just push it into place and close it off. This is the top, as I said, that's where your nose bridge will be, and this is where you're going to now form the mask for your chin. We're first going to sew these 2 sides together. And then we're going to sew the lining together. So put your outer layer together like that. Right through this process, use your pressure foot to determine the width of your seam. You can make a little bit of a softer curl there on the outer layer. But when we stitch the lining, it's a different story, and you'll see exactly how to do that now. Okay, move to the other side, to your lining. We're going to do this in 2 steps. We're going to sew from the point to that corner, and then open that up, and then seal the seam again, and then sew the other one and seal that. I'll explain to you as we go. So start on this side and sew up to that corner. Reinforce and stop. Now we're going to thumb press this open. And we're going to seal that with that 5 centimeter Vilene strips that we cut when we cut the interfacing. We're now going to first sew that in place, iron it in place. You're now going to seal your seam with your Vilene, so that we actually are sealing the seam so that the virus won't be able to penetrate through the seam there. So put it down like that. Your seam is open because you thumb pressed it. We've now sealed the seam so that there's no opportunity for the virus to penetrate through that. So our very last little bit of sewing is to now close right at the bottom. Right at the bottom, we're going to close it. But we're going to leave our opening about 6 centimeters so that we can actually turn it inside out. So we're going to sew from here to there, leave that middle piece open, and then continue sewing from there to the other dot. Just move it over. Doesn't have to be precise, as long as you leave a big enough piece open. Now going to turn it inside out. Just take care to bring out your paper clip. Pull it open. Right, and there's your mask. The only thing we now have to do is to just close our opening right at the bottom. Right, now remember, we trimmed away about 5 millimeters from our lining. And the reason why we did that is because we wanted to fit nicely inside of our mask and not tend to pull out. If we don't cut that away and they're exactly the same size, we'll end up with a lining that constantly is trying to pull over. In this case, it will be nicely tucked away and you won't see it. Make sure all your seams are nicely rolled out. And there you have it. I'm going to fold the paper clip according to the nose.
I hope you will benefit from this tutorial in making your own masks. Even start a small business from this. Please like and share this tutorial. And if you need any further assistance, please email me at sewingtips.tess@gmail.com and watch out for sewing tips from Tess.